Hello everyone, especially to our instructor of this subject, Dr. Christopher Diaz. Hello sir. At this moment, I would like to share my discussion about the 9 types of barriers of effective communication. But it's stated there that we should choose 5 of them. The barriers that I've been chosen are the language barriers, emotional barriers, cultural barriers, attitude barriers, and lastly and foremost, the physiological barriers.
Types of barriers of effective communication.
We start with the language barriers. Language causes communication barrier. If you use words to the other people are unfamiliar with, as soon as you introduce these words, you begin to exclude others. Bear in mind, this includes expression, buzzwords, and jargon. When we talk to other people, we should use their own languages to have a better communication. My experience about this barrier is when the time of pandemic. Social media are useful on that day because we can go to the outside to visit places or go with your friends to play with with physical interactions. And I use, or yes, I make a second account to communicate others to the other places like Luzon or they using languages, different languages. So I've been using their own languages because they he, ca- she cannot he or she cannot use or speak our own languages, so we should adjust them. So how to overcome this? It's hard to communicate someone or socialize someone with that they cannot understand your languages. Is the first thing or the best way to overcome this? We should adjust. We should use their own languages to have a better communication, to have a better to have better communication, and your socializing are good. Okay na to. Okay na to. Copy na. Emotional barriers. Emotional barriers are the negative feelings that we acquire about certain people, places, and situations. When, whether it's caused by bad experiences or influenced from the others, they evoke emotions such as fear and mistrust to prevent ineffective interactions. Emotions are natural. Wherever you go, whenever time it is, whatever it is, emotions are there. I've experiences sharing my thoughts and my feelings to my mother to express it and to have a stress reliever. So the how to overcome this. Emotions are the danger depending to a person. Sharing it to the other people has uh, uh, emotions are the danger, and it depends to a person's emotions. Sharing to other people, it has a potential of preventing you from being your authentic, as it affects your emotions and feelings. But we should trust the people that we're saying our emotion of, because we can have a better communication and effective as well. Cultural barriers. Cultural barriers is an issue arising from misunderstanding of meaning caused by the difference of culture from the sender and the receiver. It causes outright conflict, but more often it creates stress in a workspace. I've experienced communicating with other languages, with other cultures, uh, using the social media app. So I communicate from the other country, which is Korean people. They just they are popular to us now because of the K-pop fans like that, and I communicate them using my English language, but others, they cannot understand it. They are not good at communicating in English language, so they s- they speak or chat me by using their own languages. And I how to overcome this? I use Google Translation to communicate them. But when we should know their own cultures, their beliefs to have a better communication. But 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 in physical interaction, we, we should know their own language and de- deliver it clearly and keep simple, and be respectful to them, to have a better socializing and communicate effective communicating to them. Attitude barriers. Attitudinal barriers are behaviors or perceptions to prevent people from effectively communicating. Attitudinal barriers to communication may result in personality conflict, poor management, resistance to change, or lack of motivation. This barrier emerges often often emerge to lack of understanding, which can lead to ignore people or to judge and having a misconception to a person with disability. We experiencing that we I know some of you are experiencing that they there's have a person that will buy into a store with with uh with what do you call this, the vendor is aggressive, so they didn't know that the person is have an ability. So how how can we how can we overcome this? First of all, you should know your own attitudinal barriers to ensure to have a better communicating. The second is organizing your thoughts. Your thoughts can help you to reflect what you want to communicate, to understand from the person that has an disability, and to prevent misunderstanding to them. Physiological barrier. Physiology is the state of human body and mind. Physiological barriers of communication occurs due to the physical condition of the both sender and the receiver, which might even be physical disabilities. It includes sensory dysfunction and other physical dysfunction. Effective communication requires a proper functioning of senses in both sender and receiver. Limitation of body and mind adds up to the physiological barriers cause, 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 causing interruption in message from reaching the destination or having meaning. I've ex- I've experienced that kind of physiological barrier when I volunteered the PPC Army of the Church in the election 2022. I am the I assigned as voter assistant disc. The first destination of a voter should be the voter assistance disc. So I've encountered of people that have a problem of physiological barrier, such as they poor of eyesight, poor of their hearing is poor, and sometimes they cannot talk. And how to overcome this? To the people that having a problem towards the physiological barriers, they should seek therapy and medical health of physical disabilities. Both receiver and the sender should know how to listen carefully to have a better communication to each other. And the person that having a problem of physiological barrier should should improve their memory by doing activities or playing games that they memory will be sharpened. And lastly, they they should know how to use body language. Body language is the most important when communicating to in this kind of barrier, because we can understand each other when we use it in communication.